In today's video, we'll meet 10 people who took the art of body modification to the extreme. And you know what surprised me the most? It's that even though these people look so different from the rest of us, they're just regular old folks with the same dreams and aspirations like the rest of us, which is very nice. Would you be willing to modify your body in any way? Let us know down in the comments. Number 10. Rolf Buchholz. For some people, even getting an ear pierce can be a terrible ordeal. Could you imagine having hundreds of them done all over your body? Rolf Buchholz from Dortmund, Germany has a total of 453 studs and rings all over his body and has recently been acknowledged by Guinness as the most pierced man in the world. The 52-year-old computer expert discovered the world of piercing 11 years ago and loved it so much that he has since then had 453 piercings in various parts of his body. Looking at him, you'd probably think most of them are on his head and face, but you'd be wrong. Rolf has 94 piercings in and around his lips, 25 in his eyebrows, 8 in his nose, and a whopping 278 in his genital area. Apart from his passion for piercings, Buchholz also has a thing for tattoos and sports a full bodysuit that covers his entire torso and limbs. Number 9. Maria Jose Cristerna. Maria Jose Cristerna is the woman with the most body modification world record. Though her appearance is far from mainstream, and that is putting it lightly, her story of why she has so heavily modified her body, earning her the nickname the Vampire Lady, is a fascinating, moving tale of personal reclamation and self-healing. From tattoos to subdermal implants to fangs, there is nobody on earth quite like her. She didn't pursue heavy body mods until she took her kids and left a 10-year-long abusive marriage. Her first tattoo came after she filed for divorce, with the rest of the body modifications following soon after. And although she may not look like it, she is a practicing lawyer. Maria Cristerna's tattoos are more than just decorative. They symbolize her freedom from her abusive ex-husband and her taking back control of her life. According to Cristerna, they're an external version of what was always inside her waiting to be let out. Number 8. Lucky Diamond Rich. Born Gregory Paul McLaren, Lucky Diamond Rich is a street artist and performer. His main acts include sword swallowing, unicycling, and chainsaw juggling, although he has acclaimed more international fame due to holding the Guinness World Record title as the world's most tattooed person. Born in New Zealand in 1971, Gregory took an interest in tattoos from a young age, although it wasn't until he joined the circus and traveled around Australia at age 16 that he decided it was time to get his first one. His first tattoo was of a small juggling club on his hip. Ironically, he chose that spot as he didn't want his mother to find out that he had gotten a tattoo. It wasn't until 2 years later when he decided to get inked again, but from then on, there was no looking back. Having spent over 1,000 hours at tattoo parlors, Lucky Diamond Rich has unsurprisingly held the Guinness World Record since 2006. His whole body is covered in tattoos, the full 100%, meaning that not a single spot on his skin isn't inked. I don't know about you, but that thought just makes me wince. Number 7. Eric Sprague. With a fork in his tongue and corkscrew in his head, Eric Sprague loves being a lizard. His body modifications took years and involved over 700 hours of tattooing for his full-body tattoo of green scales, as well as a surgically bifurcated tongue, filed teeth, and subdermal implants in his eyebrows. Since his transformation, he's built a career on his reptilian skin, touring as a freak show performer specializing in sideshow acts like suspending weights from his body piercings, sword swallowing, and, just because he can, pushing a giant corkscrew through his face. Now, at 51, Sprague lives in Austin, Texas with his wife, who he met backstage while on tour with Jim Rose, and their pet ferrets. Sprague currently has the Guinness World Record for the heaviest weight lifted and spun with pierced ears for suspending a 16-kilogram beer keg from his ear piercings and spinning in 360-degree circles. Number 6. Joel Migler. Joel Migler is a man with an addiction to flesh tunnels. He's taken body piercings to a whole new, even more disturbing level, with a total of 11 flesh holes fitted with expanders on his face, including his nose and lips. 2 of the largest holes are on his cheeks, each measuring 44 millimeters in diameter. Just look at those, you can see his teeth through his cheeks. His obsession with body modification began at age 13, when he got his first normal fleshy on his earlobes. Since then, he's developed a taste for the process that he simply never got out of his system. The German-born Migler now holds the Guinness World Record for having the most flesh tunnels on a person's face. Apart from the flesh tunnels, Migler has a total of 27 piercings, 6 tattoos, an implant, and has had his buttock branded. He also has a forked tongue, which he likes to poke out of the holes on his cheeks. And if you think those cheek holes are useless, wait till you see him eat a lollipop through them. Number 5. Rodrigo Fernando dos Santos. Rodrigo Fernando dos Santos already has around 70% of his entire body covered in tattoos. Logic would dictate that if he ever wanted more, he still has 30% of his skin available for new ink. But Rodrigo doesn't abide by normal logic. Instead, he chose to have his eyes tattooed. Yep, you heard me right, his eyes. The irreversible procedure involves using a syringe to inject ink into the sclera, which is the protective outer layer of the eyes. Eye specialists have advised against the procedure, which some warn can cause inflammation and possibly even vision loss. But despite all the warnings, our guy Rodrigo, who is a tattoo artist himself, went through with it. And aside from crying black tears for the next couple of days, his vision is totally fine. Eye tattooing is believed to be growing in popularity worldwide, with a tattoo artist in Australia claiming to be the first to have the procedure done. Number 4. Henry Damon. Henry Damon loves the Marvel character Red Skull so much, he is doing everything to look like him. And when I say everything, I mean everything. Damon has already had part of his nose removed and subdermal implants placed in his forehead in order to resemble the leader of fictional Nazi terrorist organization Hydra. He has also tattooed his eyeballs black and undergone substantial red and black face tattoos. Now, I know what you're thinking. Only people who aren't in the best of mindsets do this kind of thing. But actually, no. Damon's surgeon, who revealed his client now referred to himself only as Red Skull, said the married father underwent extensive psychological and physical tests to ensure that he was ready for the surgery. Also, according to Damon's friends, he's an excellent son, husband, and father who just so happens to have an extreme taste for body modification. Never judge a book by its cover, I guess. Number 3. Ted Richards. Ted Richards from Bristol in the UK loves parrots. So much so that he decided to be one. No, I'm not talking about him buying a giant parrot costume and walking around town wearing it. Ted went to the extreme. First, the self-described parrot man had his face tattooed to look like he has feathers in the 5 colors of his parrots. Then he risked going blind by having his eyes colored with tattoo ink. After that, he had his ears cut off, a process that helped him better resemble the birds at the expense of his own hearing. Richards admitted that he did not let risk stop him from making alterations to his body, and is in fact happy about how everything turned out. He has since changed his name to Ted Parrotman, and says that his next project will be turning his nose into a parrot beak. Number 2. Marcus Boykin. Marcus Boykin is one unique individual. He's quite famous too. He's a star on AMC's reality show Freak Show, where he is more popularly known as The Creature, and he's one of the most tattooed and pierced individuals on the planet. He is a tattoo artist and body piercer by trade who has turned his body into a canvas featuring his own unique designs and piercings. He admits to adding one new mark on his body every single day, and he's been doing it for decades. Marcus looks so otherworldly, even his own daughter gets freaked out by him. He also has a son who, fortunately for Marcus, doesn't seem to mind his dad's unusual taste in fashion. His appearance has landed him a career and even a TV show, but there's one thing he couldn't get: a roommate. Boykin went apartment hunting in Los Angeles between performances at the Venice Beach Freak Show, but for some strange reason, it didn't go well. One potential roomie told Boykin point blank that looking at Marcus made him feel uncomfortable, and I must admit it, I kinda get where he's coming from. Number 1. Elaine Davidson. Since first receiving a skin piercing in January 1997, Elaine Davidson has been pierced a total of 4,225 times as of the 8th of June 2006, the date when she was officially recognized by the Guinness Book of World Records as the female with the most number of body piercings. Since then, she has added more piercings to her body, and the last reported count was over 9,000. I didn't think that was even physically possible, but apparently it is. The former restaurant owner is constantly adding and replacing jewelry, mostly in her face. She enhances her exotic looks with tattoos and brightly colored makeup, and often wears feathers and streamers in her hair. And just when you think that someone with her looks and obsession for sticking earrings in body parts aside from her ears would have a hard time looking for love, she actually found it quite easily. She actually got married back in 2011 in a simple ceremony in Edinburgh, Scotland, at least as simple a ceremony as can be with her being the bride. She was accompanied to a registry office in the Scottish capital wearing a white gown as well as pink and flowers around her hair. And for the special occasion, she naturally kept her trademark piercings all in place, along with green, yellow, and blue paint markings on her face.